Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Big Bid for One Gaming here. Welcome back to episode number 57 of winning a national title with every team in the game. And as you guys are going to be watching this video, or if you guys have watched it the other day, but if you guys are watching this on Monday, this will be the start of uploading every single day in the month of April. Obviously, this video will go live, I believe, the final day of March, but then April 1st is a Tuesday, so we'll have a lot more content this upcoming month, and we'll have a lot more of these teams done. So that means new episode, means new team. Let's get it started and see who episode 57's team will be. And it looks like we're going back to the MAC. And we're going to get Ohio in this one. So let's go ahead and go to the MAC. And Ohio is a 73 overall, 1.5-star school. So they're one of the lower overalls here in the MAC, which is not the greatest. We do have an architect head coach, which will be nice. They've actually been pretty good. 10 wins in the last 2 seasons. I don't know what they did this year. I'm already forgetting at this point, but all in all, we'll kind of see how it goes and what we can do with this team. Of course, what we always do, we check our abilities. And we do have Architect, which is going to be very, very nice. We only have the one for offensive line and running backs. We do have Motivator. We'll probably upgrade this first. And then Scheme Guru as well, mostly for the offense and running backs. The Passgate offense has a hiccuping every 5 seconds. And Discipline and Communication as well. Our offensive coordinator does have the same thing with Master Motivator and Tactician, and same thing. We're probably going to fire our coordinators, to be dead honest with you, because we are going to need some recruiting-wise. But checking out the roster, we do have an A3 overall, I'll be leaving us, though, but we have a decent right guard and a left end that'll be staying us for the year. We have 2 centers going to be leaving us. It's not really good when your top 3 players are 83, 83, and 80. We do have a freshman halfback at 77 and a 78 tight end, which will be nice. Quarterback's a 73. He's going to be gone after this year anyways. We do have a 73 backup and a 67 third string as well. Wide receivers, I mean, I think everything needs help at this point. So we might as well just try to get everything. How many corners? Well, we have 3 corners leaving us. They're all pretty good, too. We have 3. Why do we have 3 kickers? But we're going to need a punter in this class as well. But I'll go ahead and see everyone at the end of Season 1 here with Ohio. And here we are at the end of Season 1 here with Ohio, where we go 4-8 on the season. Not a very good season at all here with Ohio, and it started out, we losing Syracuse, South Alabama. We beat FCS, then we lost to Kentucky. We beat Akron to start off conference play, then lost to Central Michigan, beat Miami of Ohio, lost to Buffalo, beat Kent State before losing our last 3 games to Eastern Michigan, Toledo, and Ball State, who Ball State went 8-4 in their first year. Or I guess not first year, but in our first year of simulation. We are going to fire both of our coordinators because we are going to get some that do motivation and recruiting, and I think that would help. We got a lot of people wanting to transfer out, which is not going to be very, very nice. But Jalen Milroe wins the Heisman, 3,000 yards, 33 touchdowns to 2 interceptions on the season. And we are going to fire both of our coordinators. Never mind, I can't because I forgot I had to do it last week, and I didn't. So I guess we're keeping them for another year, so we're just going to go ahead with the season recap. Because I forgot to do that in last week. So, yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, pro potential, coach stability, both go down to D-minuses, which is not very good. And Clemson ends up winning it all over Oklahoma State, 41-28 with Tulane, Clemson, Michigan, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma State as the automatic qualifiers, with Oregon, Alabama, and Syracuse, Kansas State, Notre Dame, and Kentucky, NC State as the at-large bids. And Oklahoma State won by 4, a very high-scoring game, 49-45. Oregon just destroyed Tulane, then got beat by 1 by Clemson. They ended up winning it all. So congrats to Clemson. That's going to be on to Season 2 here with Ohio. And here we are in Season 2 with Ohio, where we go 3-9. Not very good here with Ohio so far. We end up losing our first 6 games against, we did a tough first 4. Rutgers, West Virginia, Ohio State, and Clemson, all losing to those first 4 teams. But then we lost to Toledo and Ball State before winning next 2 against Akron and Northern Illinois. And then we kind of split with Bowling Green and Central Michigan, and then losing our last 2 versus Miami of Ohio and Western Michigan. So 3-9 and 3-5 in the conference. Granted, we did have a tough first 4, but don't worry this time. I did fire the coordinator, so I can actually hire them this time. Also just got a right guard, which will help out the offensive line. Hopefully. We are an 80 overall, so kind of surprised we only go 3-8. But Cade Klubnik wins the Heisman, 4,400 yards, 51 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Granted, the first 4 obviously are way better than us, but now I'm going to go ahead and sign these coordinators. I'll be back in just a second. And here we are at the end of season recap here. Checking out the bracket. It looks like Oregon won it all here in season number 2, 42-37 over Arizona, with Boise State, Arizona, Clemson, Oregon, and Georgia as the automatic qualifiers, with Michigan, USC, and Texas, Nebraska, Penn State, Texas A&M, and Ohio State as the at-large bids. And we did hire our 2 coordinators. We did mostly with recruiter and with motivator. So this guy is a motivator, and then I believe this guy is also technically a motivator as well. So they have both recruiter and motivator for us, but that's going to end season 2. It's on to season 3 here with Ohio. Hopefully it can be a lot better than the last 2 seasons. And here we are in season 3 with Ohio. We go 6-6 on the season, so at least we went 500 at least. FCS started out with a win. We lost to Nebraska, then we beat Miami of Ohio, then lost to South Alabama, Eastern Michigan. Won back-to-back games against Buffalo and Bowling Green before losing to North Carolina and Ball State, before winning back-to-back against Kent State and Western Michigan, and then losing our final game of the season in Week 12 by 3 points, 33-30. So we had a chance to go 7-5, but unfortunately wasn't in our cards. But still, 6 wins is still a major improvement over the last couple of years. So hopefully we can continue to improve. Of course, we don't make the conference championship. We were 2 games off behind Eastern Michigan and Toledo. So hopefully we can get stuff going and move on to hopefully win more than 6 games after this year. That would be the goal. We're getting a bunch of commits this week, which is very, very nice. We actually had 4, halfback, 2 safeties, and a center. Do we make a bowl game is the question. Malachi Nelson wins the Heisman Trophy, 3,800 yards, 36 touchdowns, only 1 interception. And we actually had the best punter award with over 3,000 punt yards. And we will get a bowl game going to the Myrtle Beach Bowl with Troy. So there is that. Hopefully we can win it, but we're just going to go ahead and simulate to the end of season recap and go from there. And hopefully that we can get a win and go 7-6 and have our first winning season with Ohio would be very beneficial for this team. And we don't. We lose, we go 6-7. But coach prestige goes up and coach stability does go up, even though it's only slightly. But Georgia wins over Ohio State 28-26 in overtime, with Colorado State, who is 9-5 and unranked, FIU, Ohio State, Iowa State, and Georgia as the automatic qualifiers, with Notre Dame, Arizona, and Clemson, Penn State and Tennessee, and Michigan and Oklahoma as the at-large bids. So this was definitely a weird year in the college football playoff. But that's going to end Season 3, and it's on to Season 4 here with Ohio. And here we are in Season 4 with Ohio, where we go backwards. We go 2-10 on the season. One of our worst seasons. We start off 1-1, losing to Texas State and West Virginia, and then we beat Toledo after losing to Marshall. And then we lost 8 straight games. Ball State, Akron, Northern Illinois, Bowling Green, Central Michigan, Miami of Ohio, Washington State, and Western Michigan. We weren't even close to winning a single game besides Ball State. We only lost by 2. Got to figure something out with this team because this is, I think, one of the worst that we've ever done so far in simulations. Looks like Ohio is not a very good team in simulation, but hopefully we can somehow start pulling. I mean, we're at 85 overall. We should not be going 2-10, especially in the MAC conference. So, of course, we don't make another conference championship. We don't make a bowl game. We've gone under 500 each of these last 4 seasons. And I don't know. Cade Fox wins the Heisman, 3,800 yards, 49 touchdowns to 8 interceptions for LSU. And we'll be going straight to the end of season recap. If we had coach firing on, we've been fired 2 seasons ago. So it is what it is, unfortunately. But the nice thing is we don't have coach firing on. However, we are still looking very, very bad. Pro potential and conference prestige do move up. Coach stability and coach prestige goes down. And we have 7 people wanting to transfer out, including an 83 overall corner, which will not be very cash money. LSU wins it all over Nebraska, and Georgia Southern, Wisconsin, LSU, Western Kentucky, and Florida State were the at-large bid or the automatic qualifiers. With Georgia, Notre Dame, and Oregon, Clemson, Nebraska, and Texas, and Oklahoma were the at-large bids. That's going to end season 4. It's on to season 5, and got to figure something out. And here we are in season 5 here with Ohio, where we go 9-3 on the season. Buffalo goes 7-5. We are 7-1 in the conference, and they are 6-2. So we finally play up to our overall. We're an 85 overall. Miami of Ohio, we won, even though they're 8-4 and at ranked 24th. I don't know why we are not ranked. We ended up beating Syracuse and went 10-2 on the season. So we have some ranked wins. I just don't know why we're not up there. We did lose to Marshall in week 2, but then we went on a 4-game winning streak before losing to Central Michigan. Then we went on another 4-game winning streak before we lost to Oklahoma in our final week of the season. And now we get Buffalo in the conference championship game. So Miami of Ohio does not make the conference championship, which will help us. So hopefully we can beat Buffalo and win our first MAC conference championship. And we did. We are 10-3 on the season, so we increase our program tradition. Win our first MAC championship of these first simulations, or the 5 years so far that we have done Ohio. I don't think we're going to make the college football playoff because I think there's a lot of good teams that have already pretty much made it in there. And we'll get a bowl game at least. Rayshawn Hill, the sophomore QB out of North Carolina, 3,300 yards pretty much, 33 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Good season from him. We don't get any awards. We'll be playing Louisiana in a bowl game. So, again, it's a bowl game. Bowl game's a bowl game, but unfortunately it's not one that we really care about. So we'll just go ahead, simulate to the end of season recap, see who ends up winning it all here in season number 5, and then, hopefully season 6 we can build off that and try to be ranked and try to go into the college football playoff with a better team. Instead of an 85 overall. Because if we get an 85 overall, we will get steamrolled. We end up losing our bowl game, but we do end up being ranked 23rd to end the year. Coach stability goes up to an A. Coach prestige up to a B+, but pro potential down to a C. But we are now a 2-star school, so we do improve by half a star, even though 10 wins is pretty good. And looks like Notre Dame wins it all, 27-24 over TCU with Middle Tennessee. So technically, if we would have won, Middle Tennessee would have lost, we probably would have been in it. Tulane, North Carolina, Iowa State, and Tennessee as the automatic qualifiers, with Notre Dame, Utah, Colorado, Auburn, Washington State, TCU, and Syracuse as the at-large bids. So, all in all, a decent season of 5. It's on to season 6 with Ohio. And here we are in season 6 with Ohio, where we go 11-1 on the season. Definitely being a lot better than the last couple of seasons, but we did beat West Virginia to start the year. They ended up being ranked 14th at 9-3. We did lose to Marshall as our only loss. Then we won 10 in a row. FCS, Toledo, Jacksonville State, Ball State, Akron, Northern Illinois, Bowling Green, Central Michigan, Miami of Ohio, and Western Michigan, who we have to play in the conference championship game. Hopefully we can win this one and go back-to-back in the MAC. That would be nice. And we'd go to the college football playoff for the first time. And we won, so we're 12-1 on the year. And we'll be going to the college football playoff with a bye, more than likely, at us being number 6 in the nation. Bobby Hart wins the player of the week. And Jared Mixon, only 195 yards, 2 touchdowns. He doesn't really throw much, apparently, but we'll take the win. But now here comes the real test. After we sign another free safety as well. As if we can... But yeah, if we can ride the victory wave into the college football playoff. But Rayshawn Hill wins back-to-back Heismans, I'm pretty sure. 3,100 yards, 34 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I remember that name. But we do get a bye in the first round of the college football playoff, where it's Oklahoma State, Ohio, Georgia, USC, and Clemson as the automatic qualifiers, with Liberty, Tennessee, Wake Forest, North Carolina, Penn State, Michigan, and Oregon as the at-large bids. So we have a chance of facing Liberty or Tennessee in round 1, or I guess round 2 in the quarterfinals. And if we can win that, it's on to the semis and on to the national championship here with Ohio. And we're playing Tennessee in the Peach Bowl. So definitely going to be a tough first opponent. They beat Liberty 29-22, so nothing too much there. But let's see how we do against 10-3 Tennessee. They're at 89, we're at 85. We were just like an 87. I don't know what happened, but apparently, all the boosts do go away at the end of the season, so that's probably what is going on. And this is our true overall as an 85. But we've been playing very well all season. Looks like we're going to start on defense or offense first, and the offense, unfortunately, punts. Tennessee gets a touchdown, but so do we, and we get a turnover just before the end of the quarter, and we get a field goal to go up by 3 until they score a touchdown and another field, and then multiple touchdowns in a row. It's 27-21 at the half. Very back and forth there. Now 27-24, now 34-24, and we have a 10-point lead here in the fourth quarter over Tennessee, and we get a turnover. And it's now even a bigger lead of 17 before they get a touchdown to make it 11. 4 minutes to go in the game. It's still a game. 4th and 2, they get a first. 4th and 3, they get a field goal to be down by 7. And now that's a big penalty with a minute to go. Can the defense get one stop? And they do. We'll win the Peach Bowl over Tennessee, 41-34, in a tough back-and-forth battle. The offense really played very, very well today. Defense did struggle a little bit, but they got some turnovers and got the ball to our offense in short field scenarios. So we'll be moving on to the semifinals to play the winner of Georgia or Oklahoma State. I'm kind of hoping Oklahoma State wins that, but we're probably going to be facing Georgia. Because it always is Georgia at this point, but you never know what can happen. Getting some more XP, which will be nice. And, yeah, this guy, 7 catches, 157 yards, 3 touchdowns is kind of insane. And he wins National Offensive Player of the Week as well. We're going to win MAC Defensive. No, we don't. And it will be facing Oklahoma State in the Sugar Bowl. They end up beating Georgia. So that's big. I guess we didn't get any awards for defensive. But, yeah, 35-28. USC beat Penn. So the winner of this game will either face USC or Clemson. And yeah, all the automatic qualifiers so far have won besides Georgia. They're the only team to lose with a first-round bye. So let's see how we do against this 13-2 Oklahoma State team. They're an 85. We were also an 85. They technically have the better offense, but we have the better defense compared to each other. So hopefully we can use that to our advantage and get some stops on defense and get our offense back on the field and put up some points. It's going to be a different game compared to this in Tennessee. But it looks like we're going to start on offense first. And the offense immediately turns it over twice in a row, and it's 10-0, now 17-0 Oklahoma State to start the game. Not what we're looking for at all in the first half. It's now 24-7. We do put up 2 touchdowns before the half, so 24-14 at the half. Oklahoma State starts with the football, doesn't do anything with it. We get another touchdown. We put up 21 unanswered points. Going in the fourth, we have the football. We're going to get some big first downs. 3rd and 7, another big first down. And we take the lead, 28-24 over Oklahoma State, but they're driving. 1st and goal, they do get a touchdown. All we need is a field goal with 57 seconds remaining. We are in field goal range, and we do hit it. We're going to overtime. We hold on defense. The offense puts up a touchdown. And Ohio is going to the national championship game, winning 37-34 over Oklahoma State. Mixon definitely popped off today. 326 with 5 touchdowns. He did probably turn the ball over a couple times early in that game. But, man, what a comeback win for the squad. I mean, it was 24-0. And then we put up 28 unanswered points to win the game 37-34 with a stop in overtime and then a touchdown to start our drive in overtime. So, again, we'll be taking on the winner of, I believe it was USC and Clemson. So, it'll be, again, a very tough matchup in the Natty. USC and Clemson, to see if we can go up against these guys. I mean, it's going to be a tough matchup either way. We're going to get the Player of the Week awards for both sides, probably for the MAC, just because we're the only ones playing at this point. Brian Cook got 4 catches, 147 yards, 3 touchdowns. And he wins National Offensive Player of the Week as well, so that is nice. We'll be playing USC for the national title. They end up beating Clemson 17-3, and we put up 41 points and 37 points. So hopefully, the offense can continue putting up points, and our defense can get some stops. 27 points per game. We're averaging 26, average more yards per game and everything. But who knows what can happen? So let's see how we do against this 13-2 USC team. We're in 14-1, and they're in 90 overall, and we are in 85. So hopefully, every time we touch the ball, we can get some points. I feel like we've been playing well above an 85 overall. I mean, beating Tennessee, beating Oklahoma State. Granted, Oklahoma State was the same overall as us, but we'll see how we do here against USC. Now, it looks like we're going to start on defense first. Or offense first, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the wrong team. But we get a touchdown to begin the game. It's 7-0 at the end of 1. But USC will be driving, and we get a turnover. So 14-0. And it'll stay that way at the half. So the defense is doing excellent. And they get 2 more stops and 3 more stops before the fourth quarter. It's 14-0. USC is struggling against our defense. We get another stop. However, we got to punt the football, and they're going to pass the whole time and get a touchdown. So 14-7 now. They get their first points of the game. A big 4th down conversion. We get a turnover. But they get a stop with less than a minute to go. They need a touchdown. It's 4th down with 3 seconds. They're not even going to get close. The defense only allowed 7 points against USC, one of the toughest opponents we had to play against. And Tennessee was also tough too, but they allowed a bunch of points. Our defense only allows 7 in the national title game. And Ohio has officially won it all. This was looking very bleak to start as well. I mean, we didn't have anything going for us at all. We didn't have a winning record till last season. After that, we take it in 15-1 season and officially win the national championship game. That is insane. I mean, just starting in 2024, 4-8, 3-9, 6-7, then 2-10, Then we turn around for 10-4 and 15-1. It's just kind of insane, but it's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But Mixon, 3,200 yards, 32 touchdowns to 5 interceptions on the season. Rushing-wise, Shermer had over 1,000 yards with 9 touchdowns. Mixon, 365 with 3 touchdowns. Stenerud had 230 and 4, and Wicks had 77 and 1. Receiving-wise, Cook had 900 yards, 12 touchdowns. Fala had 807 with 10. Shelley had 592 and 5, and Connor 369 and 4, along with Emmanuel with 23 and 294. Defensive-wise, Darren led the team with 78 tackles, even though he got hurt. Burr led the team with 13 tackles for a loss. Harris had 11.5 sacks. McNary had 5 interceptions. Darren also had 11 deflections. We also had Keenan Williams with 10. We did force a bunch of fumbles and recovered a bunch of fumbles. 2 guys had 4 fumble recoveries. That's kind of insane. We did have 1 blocked kick. We did not have a safety, but we did have a defensive touchdown all in the season. Kicking-wise, our kicker, I think, was perfect on the season for field goals, but did miss 1 extra point because it was blocked. But yeah, 23 for 23 on field goals. And our kicker-wise, punter-wise, 3,400 yards, 16 inside the 20, and 17 touchbacks. Is not very good. And no punt or kick return touchdowns for our punt return or kick returners. But that's going to do it for the episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, hit that like button down below. It's another team in the MAC and another team down. And it's the start of having a everyday upload pretty much. From now until April 30th, we'll have daily uploads. This will be technically day 1, even though I think when I post this, will be March 31st. So technically, yeah, it's not really April yet, but it's going to be starting. Tomorrow will be Zero Overall franchise, and then we'll be back with this on Wednesday, and then, of course, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well. I want to get this done before College Football 26, and this will be the best way to do it. So, all in all, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm out. Peace.